Coach, what are your thoughts about where the program is at now vis-a-vis where you'd like it to be in 3 months?
Well, I think the most encouraging thing right now is that physically we're in pretty good shape. I mean, I think our legs are in shape, our arms are in shape. We've had our position players able to get 30, 35 at-bats in our scrimmages. Pitcher's been able to throw 10, 12, 14 innings maybe. And from that standpoint, from just being ready to play, I think we're there. You know, obviously it's going to come down to getting out and seeing a different colored uniform and competing, you know, on Friday night. And I think we've got to take small steps. We've got to go a game at a time, a pitch at a time, and then we'll add it up and see where we are 3 months from now. Hopefully through the first part of the season maybe being a learning process, we can be a pretty good team 3 months from now. But you know, right now we've got to take small steps and see how good we can become from Friday to Saturday and Saturday to Sunday and this weekend to next weekend.
You mentioned the magic word pitching. That was that was a killer last year. What have you done to address that to help keep you in games?
Well, I think what we've tried to do is establish roles where our guys can attempt to do things that are a strength for them and find good matchups in the opposing lineups, because you know, I don't think that we have a great deal of depth when it comes to somebody going 6, 7, 8 innings, but I think we've got several kids that are going to be good for 9 to 12 outs, and finding how those fit in a 9-inning game. Obviously that's the job of the staff, but I think that we've got some kids that have bought into what Coach Stanford has brought, and you know, we'll take a little bit different approach with how we're going to try to go about getting through an inning. But I think the biggest thing is finding them some ways to be successful and keeping them in those roles as the season goes on.
Steve, being a first-time head coach, how do you deal with playing your first 25 on the road?
Well, I think I love playing on the road. Honestly, I love road trips and you know, getting to see different places. You know, obviously that's a little bit tough at the beginning of a season to have that many. But I think one of the reasons we went ahead and scheduled it that way as we did when we filled in with the schedule was, you know, I think we can take advantage of maybe the newness of this situation with the new coaching staff and, you know, a new energy, a new excitement about playing, and try to, you know, let that kind of pull us through when we get that many games on the road. But you know, it's going to, obviously it's difficult because you're always a visitor, and well, I guess we've got a couple neutral site games, but getting to weather and that's a little more conducive to playing early is going to be important, because the guys are really chomping at the bit to get out there. So I hope that 12 to 15 games into it, it doesn't become a drag being on the road that much, and the bus, you know, becoming that second home. You know, that's not always an attractive place, but I think with the newness of everything and the energy, like I said, guys would be able to handle that just fine.
Coach, you talked about the small steps you want to see in the first few games. Can you, I guess, expand on that, what you mean specifically?
Well, I think you got to have guys that maybe haven't had some success in the past, that have maybe struggled in their early career, have some level of success. You know, maybe it's not, you know, hitting 400 opening weekend, you know, just quality at bats, trying to execute our offensive philosophy, being able to handle those kind of things. Pitchers, you know, doing what they're capable of doing, throwing strikes, pitching to contact, working quickly, changing speeds, you know, those kind of things. You know, just trying to do what they're capable of doing. You know, the butterflies are going to be there, the anxiety is going to be there, and get them through that first, you know, few games where they can do what they do, and hopefully stay focused on just doing what they're capable of doing and just doing their job, nothing more, nothing less.
Coach, do you know where Drew's going to bat in the batting order?
Third, yeah. We almost had our lineup cards printed with his name in the 3-hole, but he's such a quality player and a quality kid. I mean, he is the entire package that anybody would ever want to have coaching college baseball. And I think you'd see him probably third. I can't imagine a scenario where he wouldn't hit toward the top of the order there.
Steve, in the realm of things, where does the Horizon League fall, in your opinion, baseball-wise, with only 5 teams now, or 5 schools?
Well, obviously you'd like to have more. I think you get a little more depth in the league, and obviously the automatic qualifier gets tied into the number of teams in the league, so you'd like to have more. But I think what you have, gosh, you can go to. I'm not totally sure that Illinois Chicago has been in an NCAA regional, but I know that Milwaukee has, and Valpo has, and Wright State has. And members of my coaching staff have. So I think there's a lot of people that know how to get there and how to compete at a high level in the league. And I think that most of the programs have shown that they're able to compete with the upper echelon people. Maybe not on a game after game after game weekend basis, but when they face them, that they've been able to compete. So it's a quality league. I mean, there are quality opponents and people that emphasize baseball in their athletic department.
Coach, do you know who your opening day starter is?
Yeah, Friday it's going to be Blake Aquadro. Blake's thrown some really big games here in the last couple of years and beaten a couple quality opponents. Wright State last year, very good offensive team. He beat them in the tournament. But really, right now, starters and relievers, it's not a big difference for me. We're kind of working on pitch counts right now, so that everybody's building toward. When we get to the middle of March and starting the conference season, that they're at their best. Being able to at least get to that 100 pitch mark. So the guys go in the 4th, 5th, 6th inning. Really, in my mind, is no different than the 1, 2, and 3 because it's a designated split.